Hey friends, it's Lindsay, and today I will be doing a Top 5 Wednesday video. Top 5 Wednesday is currently being hosted by Samantha over at Samantha of Tomes, and I'll go ahead and leave her channel along with the Goodreads group in the description box below. So today's topic, or this week's topic, is top 5 settings that you want to read more of. So without further ado, let's just go ahead and get started. At number 5 for me is the 1980s. I don't really have any personal experience with the 1980s, but I love reading all the references and just in general history on what happened in the 1980s. I know Eleanor and Park by Rainbow Rowell and Ready Player One by Ernest Cline were both taken place in the 1980s. I've read neither one of those books. I plan to, but I don't really have a set time to read those. I am hoping to get to them soon, but who knows. But yeah, the 1980s was kind of a great era in music. I love 1980s with Queen and Styx and the Eagles. I don't know. All of that was just so great, and I heard a lot of stories from my parents about the 1980s, and I don't know, I want to read more about what has taken place and not just see it from their perspective. So if anyone has any good recommendations, just leave them in the comments below. Number 4 is not a time frame, but it's actually a place. It's New Orleans, Louisiana, and I actually want to read a lot more books taking place in New Orleans, Louisiana. I'm currently reading a book by Carrie Lofty, and it's called Blue Notes, and that book takes place in New Orleans, and I'm really enjoying it so far. So yeah, I love to see all the different adventures that they go on through the French Quarter and through different parts of New Orleans, at Tulane and all that, and so I'm hoping that I can find some more books about it. I just haven't gotten to really research to see if there's any other books written in New Orleans, so there's that. Number 3 is not really a decade, it's more of a time frame, so I would really like to read more books from 1995 to 2005 that are taking place in that time frame. Just for the simple fact that that was my childhood. I really want to remember a lot of what happened during the time that I was growing up. I know it was a hard time in American history during this time, and I've only read one book taking place in this time frame, and that was Making Faces, and for the life of me I can't remember the author's name, but it will be somewhere on the screen, I promise. But yeah, so I know that that time frame is a little weird, but I really enjoyed reading that book, and I'm hoping that I can find another book that's taking place in that time. So number 2 is the 1920s, flapper era, old school Chicago, old school New York. It kind of fascinates me. I just love the whole mob scene, if you will. I like to read about that era a lot, and I haven't really found any fiction that takes place in the 1920s. I know The Diviners by Libba Bray is one book that's really popular in the 1920s, but I don't really know anything else. So if anyone has any recommendations, please let me know, because I'm dying to know if there's any other books taking place in the 1920s. Please let me know. And number 1 is a little bit weird for me. I label it as time jumps. It's not really time traveler books, but there's this particular series that I read back when I was a senior in high school, and I absolutely loved it, and the author did this weird thing. She made her characters immortal, and so they could live through whenever they were turned immortal until present day, whatever. It doesn't really matter until they find a cure. And with that, they made one of the other main characters semi-immortal, meaning the main character got hit with something, like, and his blood got into her system, and she became semi-immortal. So she only comes back every 25 years, and whenever she does come back, she doesn't remember who she is. So it's really cool to see all those different time periods that she does come back, and in those different cities that she's in, and seeing those different cities during that time period is just something fascinating to me. So I'm hoping I can find more books about that. I know it's not very common, but I know Outlander kind of does it a little bit, but not to the extent that Chelsea Fine does it with the Archers of Avalon series. That's the series I'm talking about. But I really hope to find more series like this, and if anyone knows of one, please let me know, because I love that. I really do. So Anyway, this was just a really quick top 5 Wednesday. I'm trying to get you guys more videos. I promise, I promise, I promise. Okay? Yay. But that's it for me today. If you guys have any questions, any comments, book recommendations, video recommendations, just you know what to do. Leave them in the comments below, and I'll talk to you guys later. Bye.